What's happening, everybody, and welcome to episode 236 of the Good Kraken podcast. I'm one of your hosts today, Ernell Pearson, alongside the Snack King himself, Garrick Bartholomew. Garrick, we were coming back to the episode, and I went downstairs to go get my beverage for the show, and everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. Like I went in and I forgot that I put like our big water jug in the freezer, and half of it was like frozen, way more than I wanted it to be. And so I went I went to pour it into my bottle. Water got fucking everywhere. And then I went to go like put it into the soda stream because I wanted kind of a bubbly drink this morning. And it did it. I did the like button press thing that like turns it into soda basically. And I like put it down too quick. I like put it on the counter. So it all overflowed all over the counter. And I was like, God fuck it. And then I tried to put in the little like drinky Mio stuff into it so I could like taste fucking yummy. And I went to do that and I fucking overshot and like got that all over the counter. So like everything went fucking wrong. But Garrick, how was your morning so far?
Dude, busy. So I woke up this morning and like immediately needed to go find my copy of the widest yard game known to man, aka Cornhole, because it was needed for.
Dude, I love Cornhole.
Okay, all right, hold on, Garrick. I hate to interrupt you, but like me and Marilyn went to a wedding last weekend, right? That was hence why I was not here.
Okay, hold on. Was this your first time actually getting to play Cornhole?
I've played
like for real
before.
Like for real
this is the first
time
I for real played it in an environment where someone said, "Hey, can we go against you two?" And I was like, because my competitive nature.
When it starts splitting into teams, that's when shit gets real.
I was an athlete for like 20 years of my fucking life, man. When someone says, "Hey, let's play," and I'm like, "Fucking what's up, dog?" It's me and Marilyn's friend's husband. We were like, "Fucking let's go, dude!" And we fucking worked this old couple, dude. Like it was. I'm a believer now, man. Cornhole's fucking it,
dude,
bro.
It's shit, man. So I just have like a backyard set, but like I have some family members that are like in it. Like they have like $100 custom bags, dude. Did you know like the professional cornhole bag, dude? So this is like it's like an actual sport, like it's like a professional sport, like actual cornhole bags. Like they have like, dude, there's like a way to temper and break in your bags appropriately. Like there's actually like there's a slick side and a wax side on actual pro bags. So like you can like change your shot up to like so it'll slide on the board or it'll like stick to the board depending on how you throw it. It's the most extra sweaty ass shit, dude. And I got to play with some of those pro bags and stuff. I was like, this makes it feel like a competition.
Because like I've seen it. I've seen clips where it's like the pro cornhole players, they don't actually try to go into the hole. They actually surround the hole.
Yeah, they
and
stack
pressure
points.
their opponent.
So because it's worth one as long as it's on the board, right?
Right.
And dude, if you can stack your bags up and then you get like that, and then you get it into the thing, like, and then you hit like your bag into all the other bags into the hole, like it's extra points. But the only way to get a true cornhole is to literally one after another sink that bitch
all four
straight
bags.
Into the hole.
All four
That's
bags,
it. That's
right?
the only way. That's the only way to get a true cornhole. And if you ever get a true cornhole, if you ever play in true cornhole and you get a cornhole, you go sign that motherfucking board because that is rare.
Oh, I'm sure, dude. I
can do it in my sleep.
I was sinking those bitches, dude. I was sinking them left and right, but I wasn't able to ever get something to just stay on the board. And I was getting so frustrated because I was just like, I'm knocking in points, bro. I'm just tossing these bitches in, bro.
Like,
how many drinks did you have before that, or did you have
one beer? I had one beer.
Dude,
I'm not much of a drinker
being
anymore,
drunk as fuck, going to an MLS soccer game in Houston, Texas, and there's cornhole on the outside of the stadium.
Of course there is.
And
of course there is.
I got invited to a cornhole tournament that was last month. I wasn't able to make it, but it was an actual cornhole tournament with 2 handmade professional boards and a cash prize.
No, that's crazy.
This man
That's
white as
crazy.
fuck, dude. This man
You
white
can
as
do my
fuck. But
practicing.
my man
I
who
love
is
Cordell.
not white as fuck is our baby boy, the man, the myth, the
Pretty
legend
close.
himself. We got it, baby. It's good Kraken's very own. DJ, how is your morning going, my boy?
Dude, insomnia's kicking my ass, man. I went to bed at an undisclosed time.
At 7 a.m. Because I like how he just doesn't
undisclosed
tell us
time.
anymore because he knows I'm gonna give him shit for it.
He's an undisclosed time, this fucking guy.
And I had my alarm set for 11:30 my time, so like I'd be, if we had a meeting today, which we did, I would be ready.
Right.
Like when your alarm stings and you can hit snooze, I snoozed my alarm 10 times.
Jesus
I actually
Christ.
woke up at 12:30.
It'd be like that.
I actually let that
Goddamn, son.
alarm ring like 10 times. Like I would fall asleep like in intervals until it was 12:30. I was like, "Fuck, I gotta get up." And, like,
And then, how long do you have like your snooze set for?
it sets a 10-minute, dude. I don't know if I can change that. Like every
Dude,
10 minutes.
I have mine set for 15, but I like strategically always like build 2 into my alarm schedule.
Well, I was
'cause
gonna
I'm
say
lazy.
I just have another alarm for every 5-minute interval, so it's like even if I hit snooze, it's fucking waking me up like one way or another, man. Now then I got my little shock watch too. That bitch is just like insane, man. And then Pavlok, because that's what the brand is called. They did an update on their app, and now they have a thing where you can like adjust wholeheartedly by percentage, like how much you want to zap you or how much you want it to beep or how much you want it to vibrate. I have this bitch like on a slow climb from 5 a.m. to 5:30 a.m. But once it hits 5:30, it's like
You get zapped.
like, my ass is waking the fuck
Fuck
up.
it, bitch, go.
Goddamn son. But we can zap you guys up as well because we're talking some real fun stuff today, baby. We got some shit that woke us the fuck up last night, and we hope that wakes you guys up as well because
Sure.
this is the Good Kraken Podcast, your choice for all the nerdy video game and pop media news, reviews, and discussions that you want to hear live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. and Saturdays at 12 p.m. If you're on this wave, you can head on over to our Discord channel where you can submit questions and topics to the show, get exclusive post-show Coast Po Shanten, as Garrick would say, and soon have early access episodes before they go live on podcasts and video services across the digital sea.
Yergy.
Thank you, good sir. But if you've emptied your pockets for the latest and greatest in entertainment, that is totally fine. You can watch us record this show live right here at twitch.tv/Good Kraken Show. But if you have Amazon Prime, you also have Twitch Prime, DJ.
Prime Gaming.
And we would love for you to give that to us to help keep us pushing that content out for all of you that are listening or watching at home. But you can also support us by going to our YouTube channel, clicking that beautiful bell and big red button, or by subscribing to our podcast channel by searching Good Kraken with an exclamation mark and leaving a review there.
Review.
Excuse me. Well, that was a very well timed burp on my part. DJ! We have some captain's orders, guys. Actually, a good handful of them. So, our latest episode of the Shipwreck Show is now live on podcast services of your choice, as well as YouTube. You can go check that one out. We talk a lot about mortality. A lot about mortality.
Yeah, that
one.
episode got weird.
That was-
It was very like.
And then we talked about the
I don't
patriarchy
remember.
again.
And then we talked about patriarchy, and then we got into sex workers somehow, and about how like if you ain't into that, you're the weirdo.
You're the
it was
problem?
it
was a weird episode.
You just go listen.
Go check it out. Just go check it out.
Yeah.
You
was a
may or
weird
may
one.
not need that episode in your life a little bit because
you do need it in your life.
Yeah, that episode
I'm a
actually
doctor.
might allow you to heal, like genuinely. Good,
a little
like,
bit. Yeah. Just feel a little less alone, you know.
Last week's or last shipwreck show.
Because here's the deal: it's not often that we get to be a little bit serious with each other, and usually when it is, it's about some super fucked up stuff. So it's nice for us to kind of go into it and just talk a little bit generally about like how we are cognizant of the fact we're gonna die one day. So
Not me though.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys, but not me.
yeah, not me.
me.
I'm gonna.
When the Grim Reaper comes, I'm gonna be like, nah.
Nay. Be gone,
Nah,
thought.
good sir. Not I.
DJ's gonna solve immortality, man. He's gonna figure it out. Guys,
Just don't
don't forget our schedule for this month is a little bit wonky. Next Thursday, we are not going to be doing Shipwreck Show. We will be seeing a movie, Blue Beetle, for us to review on Saturday. But we are doing a Splash Damage multiplayer gameplay stream next Friday for you guys for a wonderful Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is coming out. Which, if that game is even like half the game Evil Dead was, we're gonna have a fucking good time.
Dude, I feel like that's setting that game up for failure, dude. Like that was Evil Dead. The game was like the smoothest, most seamless, most hands down enjoyable, like.
Yeah.
Like Splash Damage stream we've had. I can think of one other one where we've audibly laughed harder, and that was the fucking bank heist one or whatever the fuck.
Oh yeah,
Rubber Bandits.
Rubber
Bandits.
One,
that shit got me rolling.
Yeah, that was a good stream. We do need. I can't wait for fucking that
Party Animals, dude.
Party Animals, man. When that game comes out, we're gonna have a fucking good time.
We're having a time.
So guys,
Party
please bear
Animals
with
is
us. That is happening next week, and then we have Gran Turismo the week after, apparently, and then other stuff is a little bit weird too. So hang out with us. But also at the end of this month, on August 29th, we are doing our official Phase 2 ranking of MCU. So we got a few weeks left for us to catch up and, watch those movies. And we will be adding our rankings to our Phase 1 ones until we collectively have the entirety of the MCU ranked for us here at Good Kraken, and for you guys at home to kind of hear how fucking ridiculous our rankings are, because you guys have some thoughts on our ranking list sometimes.
People do feel very strongly about our rankings.
Man,
sometimes.
they do. It's a thing.
Like very
It's a thing.
strongly.
God damn, you know what I'm saying? Garrick, my man, we're moving into our headlining segment. Can you tell the people at home what that is?
Look, you better protect your fucking neck, and for more than one goddamn reason today.
Goddamn, baby, let's go.
Because we're headed to the gallows.
Protect that throat. Boys, today we're talking The Last Voyage of the Demeter. Spoiler-free review. This is a movie that me and Garrick have been talking about wanting to see for a few months now. We've been pretty excited about this. And today we finally get a chance to present it to all of you guys. So first and foremost, we have a little brief synopsis here for you guys. The crew of the merchant ship Demeter set sail from Carpathia to London to deliver a cargo of 50 unmarked wooden crates. However, they soon discover that they're not alone, as Dracula's unholy presence turns the trip into a nightmarish fight for survival. Ooh boy. Ooh boy, what a fucking movie, boys. You know what I mean? Let's talk about it though, guys. Released August 11th, 2023. Directed by Andre Overdahl, who's actually been doing some really great stuff lately. A budget of $45 million. A box office so far of only $2.6 million, which honestly, we're not really surprised. Like, this movie didn't really market a whole lot. A lot of people see stuff like this and like, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's totally fair. To my shock, though, as I see in the trailer that is playing currently, DreamWorks movie.
Dude, I was going to mention that like in my top level thoughts. Like, so I'll literally real quick. I'll just like, it was off fucking putting to have like the do
right,
and you're like, this is not the ride I was gonna sit down for. What's happening right now? It made it like almost like made like it like, oh, it's just like, now it is gonna be a horror film because like I don't know what the fuck.
I don't know what to expect, right? Like this movie could be in the Shrek universe and we wouldn't know. You know what I mean? This is fucking crazy.
Fucking real.
But we have a runtime of 1 hour and 59 minutes for this bad boy here, and I felt like that was a runtime. Honestly, we didn't need it to be any longer. That's for damn sure. The Bechdel test is a measure of representation of women in film and other fiction. The test asks whether a work features at least two women who talk to each other about something other than a man for 1 minute of screen time. Now, just to make sure that we're perfectly clear here, we don't do this as a way for us to be like, judge that movie. It was originally made to be a little bit cheeky, just to kind of like as a, weird, funny glimpse, if you will, at movies and how they portray feminism. Does The Last Voyage of the Demeter pass the Bechdel test? Fucking no.
Not.
Definitely
No,
fucking
no.
not. There is
This was
only-
one of those ones, like, there's one woman on the, like, on
literally the whole movie.
in the film, the whole fucking film. And, like, dude, it's like, period pieces always make me fucking laugh. In, like, the sense that we're just like, at the end of it, you're just like, God damn it, sexism was everywhere.
God damn, for real, man. It's just like, God, you fuckers, you bastards. So guys,
And, like, you can't even write around it. Like, it would, because the thing is that you're like, it would look weird. It wouldn't look like a period piece. And you're just like, that's a sexist thought, but it's true.
well, let's talk about some fun facts with this. Now that we're on the conversation. Sexist bullshit in this movie. It's not actually sexist. It's just goofy to
No,
think
it's
about.
not. But like, it's just weird to think about sometimes. Specifically, period piece films.
Yep, exactly, man. Fun facts for you guys. Director Andre Overdahl described this movie as basically Alien, quote, basically Alien, from 1979 on a ship in 1897, end quote. Which is, I wanted to make sure I pointed out because it's going to be very, very pivotal for at least my section of, this review, because I've got some fucking thoughts on that. But secondly, the first draft of the script was written in 2002. And went through numerous rewrites and directors in the ensuing 21 years. This movie has been in development hell for 21 years, boys.
That's crazy.
That's just fucking asinine. In earlier drafts of the script, the main character was a Romanian peasant named Alexei Alec Radu, who was pursuing Dracula to avenge the murder of his son. Depending on the draft, the son was either the baby Dracula fed to his brides in the original novel, or was kidnapped and fed upon while the vampire was on the road to Varna. I almost kind of wanted that one. I mean, the thing is, too, and I want to make sure that I make this clear to everybody, listening and you guys here, too. This movie is based off of one chapter in Bram Stoker's Dracula. One chapter.
Chapter 7, to be specific.
Chapter 7, to be very, very specific. And they glimpsed it even bigger. They just bolstered the story and gave us an entire story around that one chapter, which we're about to find out here whether or not that worked for them. So with that said, boys, let's fucking get into it. Garrick, let's go to you first, my friend. What were your top level thoughts of The Last Voyage of the Demeter?
So like we just previously mentioned, this entire film was based off of a singular chapter from Bram Stoker's Dracula, Chapter 7. Just a quick little history fact: if you haven't read Bram Stoker's Dracula, it's prolific because it's not written like a traditional novel. The whole story is told through like interviews and newspaper clippings, and in this case, a journal entry from the captain's log of the Demeter. And it's no spoiler that basically, the captain's log from the Demeter says, like, we tried to stop him. If he ever gets off this ship, God save you all. God save us all. Good luck. And then it fast forwards us to us getting onto our journey. And this film works very hard at being a period piece. This entire thing is it's about that voyage of getting Dracula to London. Obviously, like Bram Stoker's Dracula tells us the results of that, so there's no spoilers there. But they do try to paint a picture of what that voyage might have been like for the individuals involved. And one thing that I noticed about the film is it definitely leans on a very Shakespearean route of storytelling. Not so much as it breaks it down into acts or chapters that you would expect a traditional play to follow, but the pacing of the film, a lot of the shots, and the downtime in the film is very. It's not cinematic. It's very theater. It's very thespian, and a lot of the characters and the actors perform this film almost like it was a stage play rather than a cinematic experience, and I felt that a lot throughout the film, for better and for worse. In my opinion, there were some moments. I believe his name is Liam Cunningham. He plays the captain of the Demeter, and like he has a stage acting background, and you feel him bring that. He probably has the most commanding presence on screen. And I felt the film was actually very well cast, even down to like the individuals that I was not familiar with. They played their characters very, very well. But with this film wanting so strongly to lean on that stage performance style and the theater-like performance, it lacked the impactful storytelling and script writing and dialogue that I would have really loved to see in something like this. I think what I just want to say really quick, I felt like this movie's biggest fault was it had the opportunity to make the story almost whatever the fuck it wanted. It could have done almost whatever the fuck it wanted, and it chose not to have fun, like, at all. In my opinion.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
For the most part. Now, I will say that the film's not irredeemable. I do feel like the runtime was a little protracted. Some of those, if they removed some of those thespian Shakespearean scenes, I feel like the film could have easily been like a 90-minute like thrill fest, and it would have been great. But instead, this film really does take a page from Alien and leans into like a lot of these long, lingering shots. And rather than using the sea as a source of fear, it uses Dracula itself and the ship's claustrophobic nature as like the driving force of what's scary in this film. Now, it paints a very bleak picture because obviously you can imagine a bunch of humans trapped on a boat with Dracula isn't going to go very well.
That's fair. Yeah.
And it doesn't. A lot of motherfuckers die. To be more specific, there were no survivors from the Demeter, according to Bram Stoker's Dracula, which I'm going to touch on real quickly here because that was a bother for me.
We'll get there. We'll certainly get there.
But I will say the performances delivered by each individual was great. I loved everybody, and I loved Dracula's design quite a bit in this film.
Sure.
I liked that there was like an evolution to his strength and his creature design throughout the film. I thought that evolution was very interesting because we see him go from this decrepit being to the Bram Stoker's Dracula
Grandpa!
that we're familiar with. I will say, and I do not mean this as an exaggeration, Dracula does have voice lines. I heard exactly 2 words of whatever he spoke the whole film. You will. That was it. I swear to God. He says other things, and I know Ernell's going to say the same thing. I know he says shit. I know he does. And the part that irritated me is I know the shit he was supposed to say was meant to be impactful and scary and uncomfortable, and I didn't catch a fucking lick of it. I was just pissed that I couldn't hear what was going on.
It's just like he's like, and I was like, fucking what? I was like, you subtitles or something. Y'all could have done anything.
On, like, you couldn't even get me like anything. Like I would have settled for louder Romanian that I straight up couldn't understand than whatever we got.
Dude.
Because dude, like there was, and like without giving some spoilers, there was some episodes where Dracula is circling. We'll say he's circling some individuals in this fog, and like the audio is moving 360 with him, but it's still a whisper the whole time.
Yeah.
And you can't. I didn't hear a lick. So every scary word that came out of Dracula's mouth literally fell on deaf fucking ears.
Yeah. Okay.
And that part distressed me and irritated me to no end, because the only time I heard the words he spoke was the last thing he fucking said
In the entire movie, right?
in the entire movie.
Yeah.
And what this film does is, like, it definitely tells what would have been probably an honest portrayal of the events. But that honest portrayal wasn't what the audience was looking for. And it just delivered such a flat experience overall. Like, it didn't lean into like being particularly scary with even its environment or set pieces. And there was just something about it where I walked out of this movie and I was just like, fuck, man, that was really dull.
Yeah. Okay. All right. DJ, it's your time, my man.
All right. Man, I did not know what I was getting into coming into this movie. I literally saw like 2 seconds of the trailer, the only trailer for this film. And I did not know if it was going to be a horror film or like a period piece or what have you. So I came into this film without knowing anything about it besides that vampires. And then they even like open the film with like, oh, this is from the excerpt from the captain's log from the book.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm like, okay, that sets the tone for me. And then, it shows the Demeter washing up on the shores of England, and a constable and some people find it. And then it comes back in time. Yeah. And, it adds that opening quote, like, God save you all type stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, it sets the tone pretty well in that regard. And then we're all the way back towards this port ship on the, like, we meet our main character, Clemens, who's played by Corey Hawkins, a.k.a. Dr. Dre in Straight Outta Compton. That's a W because he has an incredible English accent, and he's not an English actor.
Correct. Yeah.
So that props to him. And it's lively, and we see like the cargo which holds Dracula being put onto the Demeter, and like everything setting that tone of, oh, this is like, it's not something to be tampered with, like you know what I mean. And then the movie goes on, and we get that plot. They're on the sea, and the whole crew's being hunted by Dracula. All I could think about was, one, why is the projector so fucked in this theater? Two, this is a small ass theater, but I still can't hear shit. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm far away from the speakers or anything. I'm literally right next to him. So like to Garrick's point, I could not hear a word that Dracula said besides the last bit. And three, I was hoping for more of The Thing. You know what I mean? Like the movie The Thing. Like,
yeah.
Because that's the vibe I was getting the whole time. Like, if we are hunting this monster, I wanna see those. Like, you get elements of like, oh, it could be you. It could be you. You know what I mean? Like that type of thing. But they never expand on it. It's just immediately cut by like that person who just accused the other person just dies. Like in the next watch. You know what I mean?
Not even like a good, cool death either. Like,
yeah,
most
like,
of
they
the
just
deaths
fucking
were pretty
swipe
anticlimactic.
Yeah. Yeah, they
like
just
a
get
cat.
swiped at, dude. And it was so unsatisfying. And I can see where Garrick said like it feels like a Shakespearean type of, like, it feels like a theater production in the sense of like a theatrical production more than an actual film. and so I guess the horror aspects, it's like they cut the surface level of like most horror movies, the basis of horror movies, and just like layered it on top of the film instead of like incorporating it in a meaningful way. Like jump scares. Like I would, I don't like jump scares, but if you could get me on a jump scare, like by all means, you have it. But I hate that I can anticipate it because the music cuts out. Before every single jump, little audio boom, the music cuts out. I could count 1, 2, 3, 5, boom. You know, like I hated that. I hated that so much. Thank you everyone for the rate.
Yeah, I wanted to take a moment to
shit.
welcome people
Hello.
in. We got rated by Worms Everywhere, and welcome in everybody.
Worms!
Thank you for joining us today, Wheat Bread. What's happening, baby? We love you, dude. Worms Everywhere, good to meet you. Welcome to the family. We are a podcast, and so we don't have a sizzle reel or what have you for raid reactions, but today we are Wheat Bread. Wheat Bread sent me here. We love you,
Thank you,
dude.
Wheat
We
Bread.
love you so much. Thank
We
you.
love you.
Thank you.
Wheat Bread's the hype king.
God damn, for real.
Yeah.
Today we are doing our spoiler-free review for the last voyage of the Demeter, a movie
getting
about
in it.
Dracula on a boat, and we are in the shits right now.
We're
So,
tearing this movie.
you can
He's
stick
on a boat.
You can stick around. You
Look
don't.
at him. He's killing on that boat.
You don't have to worry about spoilers or anything because we do avoid those here. So if you had any interest in the movie, stick around, hang out with us, and welcome to the family again. Thank you so much, Wheat Bread. We love you, dude. So DJ, continue on, my good sir.
Yeah, I like I was saying earlier, if you can get me on a good jump scare, like just hit me with it, like just let it happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Instead of, because like, I hate it. I guess I don't know if it's like a trope in every movie, every horror movie that has like a jump scare like aspect, but I hate when the music cuts out because I know it's coming. You can't
that was
tell
a
me.
choice in this film, and they used it a lot.
Yes, and I'm like, please, like if we are in the perspective of the crew, right? They should not be expecting like Dracula to jump out, at least not in the earlier parts of the film. So as the audience, we shouldn't expect that to happen either. Like we'll get a semblance of it because we're seeing it from a different point of view, but we should also be as surprised as the crew. Or they could play into it where it's like it's expected, but we see it from the point of view of Dracula instead, because we know what he's about to do, right?
Right.
So I feel like that was a lapse in judgment in terms of choice, like the directive, position or Sepat Garrick.
Just to kind of piggyback, one thing I kind of noticed, like along with the way they chose to do the jump scares. I don't know if you guys noticed. This film is rated R, by the way.
It is. Yes.
It is rated R. Yet it still does like a couple of things where like it chose to just be deliberately safe. So first off, please stop killing dogs in movies for shock value. It's stupid. I just need to say that real quick.
That's what made me realize. That's what made me relate to the thing.
I'm so fucking I'm so fucking over like that trope. Like it's because of the thing that everybody and their goddamn mother does that, except for nobody does it. The thing is, like, there are so many like deaths or death-esque like attacks in this film where like the thing happens and then it cold cuts to fucking planks of wood, and I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
What? And I was like, no, I wanted to see that motherfucker get got, not fucking gurgling sounds from behind a fucking set of boards. Yeah, I was like, that's not scary.
It's and like to my point exactly, like this feels like a theatrical performance first. Like when they cut to the docks, like before when they're loading the ship, this feels like a Disney movie.
Well, it's
You
a
know what I'm
DreamWorks
saying?
one, actually.
It was because
It
of
is
the
a
way that
DreamWorks movie.
it was the set piece design. Everything was too clean.
Yeah,
Yes.
sure. Yeah, yeah. Oh, DG got the sniffles. He got the
Like,
sniffy sniffs.
everything on the set was just way too clean. Like the
Yeah.
ship looked too new.
Yeah, and then they introduced the little boy character that's the son of the captain, and I'm like this, and I saw DreamWorks before that. I'm like, is this like a
Peter Pan. It's a
PG-13
Peter
movie?
Pan sequel, or prequel.
Yeah, like
actually. Yeah, it's crazy.
you know what I mean? Like, and I'd be fine with that. Honestly, it'd probably be better than what we got. Let's be real. Let's be real.
All right, fair.
Because as I'm gonna keep going here, like I said, it feels like they cut off the surface layer of every like good horror movie and try to layer it on top of this film, and it doesn't do
Just a
any of it
big
well.
wet blanket, if you will.
Like yeah, like a big wet blanket, and it's like, you know, they wanted to lean in like the visceral nature of Dracula, but then like Garrick said, they'll cut to the floor planks that are covered in blood. So like, you know, they don't lean into the brutal and vulgar nature that Dracula can display. But you know, throughout the film, there's like this this theme of God leaving them or abandoning them at sea. Which adds this like creepy horror factor where it's like psychological in a sense of like, has God really like abandoned them on the ship, because so many things are going wrong, and they don't lean into that either. It's like slightly glanced over, and then they're like, well, fuck, God's not here. God doesn't exist. Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't play into that psychological aspect. It doesn't play into the creepy aspect well, dude, because there's a thing on the ship where they bang the fucking boards on the ship.
Yeah,
you
like
know,
a very
as
specific
confirmation.
rhythmic bang,
Could have
yeah.
been
And
way
it's supposed-
cooler.
So much.
Yeah,
cooler.
and that's supposed to be like, you know, a point in the movie where it's supposed to be like a creepy thing, like one of the crew members bangs the board, and they hear a banging back, but it's not their other crewmate. You know what I mean? And
Right.
it's pretty lame, their implementation of that. So and then them finding out things about vampires. You know what I mean? Like the sun scene, like had them one of the crew members just burns the fuck up. You know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, you know, like I just don't. I'm like, you couldn't put it in like a shittier way. You know what I mean? Like
Sure,
I don't
sure,
know.
Sure.
And I'm like, wouldn't that fire like break the integrity of that mast? Wouldn't that like I was thinking he's burning, he's tied to the mast. The mast is made of wood. Yes. Are we
The
not
logical
forgetting
process.
that? I'm like the ship is made of wood.
If 2
Why
plus
isn't there
2
a bigger
means
fire?
4.
They're out at sea. There's nothing blocking oxygen from reaching those flames. I thought it was about to be like, oh fuck, we're about to lose a mast, because you know we tie this guy to interrogate him. Now he's burning up, and now we have to save the ship. And then it's like a frantic try to turn the fire. No, he just burns up and flops over. And that. There's so much. There's so much. to this.
The scariest scene
I
in this
get it.
movie was like the ship without rats scene, in my opinion. Like that was like the most like uncomfortable scene. I was just like, that's some tension. Like that was fucking good shit.
I think that what makes me upset about watching this film and how disappointed I was, because there's some things that they do well. Like there's certain scenes where I feel like this is what they wanted to do, and they do it well. Like Garrick said, the tension, the like that psychological and creepy aspect of like being on board with a monster, you know, out at sea, nowhere to go. You know, has God really abandoned? Like these are all God-fearing men and women. You know, why would they? You know, if you were in that position, like why would God send me this? Like, what have I done in my life? Like, I wish they explored that a lot more instead of just randomly killing off people. I feel like there's just different elements that they could have done way better.
Sure.
But yeah,
sure.
that's my gripes with the movie.
For sure, man. Yeah, I had a lot of problems with this movie too. To be honest with you, there's the lows in this movie are real low, and the highs in this movie are almost kind of high, and that's kind of like generally like, and with a little bow on top, my problem with this film. It is a death by 1,000 cuts, because there's just so many little tiny things that I'm just like, what the fuck? Why? And then and another thing that I'm like, that doesn't make sense. And another thing where I'm just kind of like, why would you do that? And it's just like so many things stacked on top of each other that would just like dampen this experience for me so much as a like huge vampire movie fan. And I was just like,
vampires in boats. It was like two things.
It's like two things that I fucking genuinely enjoy in this world is vampires and almost pirates, right? And and they fucking like didn't do enough with either of those things. I guess the first thing that I want to mention here, and in our fun fact segment just a little while ago, they talk about how Andre Overdahl, the director, had specifically stated and described this movie as Alien on a ship in 1897. Alien meaning xenomorph, right? Like the movie Alien.
He said that?
He said that. He directly said that. That's what the intent of this movie was to be.
Dude, if I knew that before going in, dude, I would be pissed. I'd be so mad.
And here's my problem, right? Is that like I'm cool with that. I look DJ's observation that he was kind of hoping that this was going to turn into the movie The Thing, but with Dracula as the sort of direct antagonist, the creature of this.
Yeah.
Is a great observation. My problem is that Dracula is not a mindless being that's just out here to slaughter people. In any other source of media that we have, that's not Dracula. Dracula is a highly evil, intelligent creature that is feeding because he wants to feed, and is doing things because he has a conscious awareness of the things he's trying to do in this world, right? He is a sentient creature. It is not like he's just a fucking xenomorph that has zero emotion. And so when he says this, and then we have moments of the movie where Dracula smiles or Dracula says something. I can't understand what he said, but he said something. They're displaying a sentient being here, but they're training him to these bounds that says you're just a creature feature, right? Mm-hmm. And so, like, which one of these two are you? What is this? Which of these two is this movie trying to fucking be, right, DJ?
You saying that reminded me, because the crew comes to that conclusion that he's smart, right?
And then they don't use it at all.
Yeah, they don't actually use it. Like, it's towards the end of the film, like the last act of the film, like that he's smart, and like, because you can forgive all that earlier stuff if you believe that that's the point of view from the crew, like they think it's just a monster.
Exactly.
Really, he's just it's Dracula. Like even the captain scene in the captain's quarters after the incident with the little boy.
The shit. Yes. Yeah.
And like he has the gun. Like I thought he was about to pull the gun on himself.
Right.
Because I thought like that's where the tensions were going. Right. And I was like, oh shit's about to get real. Because like he spoke to me. He spoke to me. He said, you know what I mean?
He said, like,
yeah. Like, and I thought like, okay, now we can get into like the psychological horror. Cause like imagine what the captain feels after he's being consoled by his crew, but he's also tempted by Dracula, which now that they know he's intelligent, right? And he's fucking evil. Right. And nefarious.
Right.
Like, I thought, like, maybe he'd have some type of conflict, but they don't do it. They don't fucking do it.
And that's my problem, man. They don't commit to the fact that this isn't a Dracula movie. It is a thriller movie, and Dracula just so happens to be the direct creature antagonist in it. And like they could have put fucking anything. They could have put a fucking corn cob on it with googly eyes, with bat wings, and said that's your antagonist in the story. And that's just, it would have made just as much fucking sense to me. Like the implication of a movie, a story saying that Dracula is in it, there's a certain bar we expect here. Okay, that sits somewhere between Dracula Untold and Blade 3. Okay, somewhere in between those two.
Yes.
And
King.
And that is our expectation with Dracula. Renfield sits around there in the middle. You know, there's been so many different media sources where we've gotten a Dracula story before, and this didn't meet any of those fucking marks at all, because Dracula in this is just a really cool creature designed thing that whispers a lot and slices people's throats.
Yeah.
Dude, real quick. After I got home last night, I literally I watched Dracula Untold as a palate cleanser.
because you're like, this is so much better of a Dracula.
I was like, I needed this. This is what I wanted this to be.
Garrick DM'd me. He just DM'd me a GIF, and he's like, "This is me after that movie." It's fucking Michael Scott just.
Dude, it's such a bummer, because I know me and Garrick are like massive vampire content fans. We are. And so like when we go into this shit, we're like, yo, this can be sick. It's Dracula. It's a fucking boat. He's gonna slaughter everybody. It's gonna be fucking sick as shit, right? And then they keep like making rules and then breaking those rules. They say he's a creature that can look like a man when he's trying to hide his deeper intents. He
Never
can talk. He's hiding everywhere. Like just all these things they establish as rules with Dracula, they're constantly fucking breaking the entire fucking movie. And I'm like, is he ever gonna become a man? Is he ever going to look like a guy so that they can have the thing moment where they're like, are you Dracula? Is it you? It was you the whole time.
Until the end of the movie, if you saw.
and then even at the end of the movie, it's so fucking pointless.
Like, how does no one know this guy? Like
nobody's talking about this dude sitting over. Like, anyways, I don't want to get into spoilers.
I mean, it's London. I get his teeth aren't like you know that the teeth aren't like it's a normal thing to have that type of teeth, but like you know,
I guess so. But my thing here too is that with how like fucking bunk they treated Dracula in this, the cast in this is amazing. Like all the actors did a fucking stellar job in this movie. My problem is not the actors. I mean, Corey Hawkins playing as Clemens was great. Liam Cunningham, our king, Davos Seaworth from Game of Thrones, was fucking phenomenal. The kid who played Toby was fucking phenomenal. David Dasmalchian, I think is how you pronounce his name. It's fucking amazing in everything he ever goddamn touches. Yeah, he's amazing in this too. Okay. The cast did so good for a movie where they should have been slaughtered in such a better way.
The script still felt like it was finished in 2002. I don't believe that it went through, what did they say, numerous rewrites?
Yes, I don't believe that either. I like their dialogue was funky. There's just moments
it felt stale.
It just like this movie could have been so much more, and it was half-baked shit that I don't confidently believe was like really put that much fucking thought into. They really were just trying to make Alien with Dracula as the antagonist. And you know how much of a fucking disappointment that is, all things considered.
Did you see the interview about this film? Because I feel like it's relevant to I did, because I'm that guy.
Sure.
And the director was just like, yeah, we just kept adding in more blood. And I'm like, what blood? What blood? And I was just like, that stupid little fucking stain on the canvas didn't scare anybody except for that little wiener at the beginning of the movie.
Dude, now, here's the thing, too. Another thing that I want to get into about them breaking rules here, establishing rules and then breaking rules, is our main protagonist in this story, Corey Hawkins, playing as Clemens, is a black man. In 1897, on a ship full of white men, Okay. They're committing to this idea that nobody so happens to care that this man is black. In 1897, none of them cared that he was black. He's on this ship. We know what 1897 was like for black people. Okay.
Yeah, and then they made like the one comment, and they're like, "Why'd y'all do that? Like either do it or don't."
So exactly, they established this rule that nobody cares, and then he has an explanation that says, "Well, people do actually care," and I'm like, "Wait, so do people care or not? Because if they did care, your ass never would have been on this ship in the fucking first place. So do they suddenly care now? I don't like, and not to say that I didn't want the main protagonist of the story to be black. I did. I loved that.
He was a great character. I wanted them to
commit.
They didn't acknowledge the struggle. It felt like they fucking stitched it in because they're like, okay, they're like, are you either make that part of his plot and his struggle and his character growth and be genuine about it,
right?
Or follow the fucking established rule and let's just pretend nobody cared.
Yeah.
But you can't do both.
Yeah, and to your guys' point, like some people don't like seeing like racism be played out in their favorite media because they want to watch it without feeling uncomfortable.
Right.
So
sure.
And I understand that, right? But like you guys said, like they don't stick to the like. Okay, if no one cares about dude's race, like no, make it a thing. You don't need that scene where he's like, I'm the first black man to graduate from Cambridge.
First for blood studies and sciences.
There's a killer on the boat. There's a killer on the boat.
I'm like, why are we talking about socioeconomics?
Okay.
Why are we talking about socioeconomics when all of your fucking shipmates are getting slaughtered on board right now?
David does mention, he's like, man, there's a killer on the boat, dude. I don't know what you want.
Fucking like, man, that was real heavy, dude. Are you fucking sure you want to be talking about? Like, literally, dude. He said that line. I was like, shut the fuck up. You're not doing this right now because we are an hour.
It was so late in the film,
an hour and 30 minutes into this movie, and suddenly there's racism. Like suddenly there's fucking dude. Come on, guys. Like when it started pouring out into more things than just Dracula with their fucking rule breaking, I was like, this is absurd. This is fucking absurd. Because I saw sorry, DJ, I'm in a little bit of disagreement with you. That dude lighting up on fire on the mast was the best part of this movie. Because it was the first moment where they finally established some actual fucking stakes and like they're more than just getting murdered.
I agree that it's cool. It's just what they did with it was it fucking pissed me off. Okay,
dude,
man burned up on the mast.
Of course.
No consequences of him burning up on the fucking mast.
Of course.
Okay.
Yes.
I just want to know we're on a wooden ship. I just want to remind everybody we're on a wooden ship.
and no, 100%. That I do agree with. It just I felt like the peak of their stakes was so thrown to the wind because their Dracula didn't make any fucking sense. Right? Like he just didn't make any goddamn sense. And I'm like, if it was my choice, my Dracula, he's flying around saying super fucked up shit. Okay, like if the racism thing coming out of nowhere would have made more sense if Dracula was like, "You black bitch," and he's like flying around this ship. We're like, "Oh, I don't like black people either."
Clemens into like abandoning his crewmates. He's like, you hear what they say about you, like
I know what you're thinking, or like shit like that. Like they
like,
don't fucking do that. And then the fucking girl in this movie is done so goddamn dirty, man. Why is she in this?
Dude.
Why is she? She was literally used for them.
She was a plot device.
She was a plot device to be used as fucking bait for Dracula. That's literally all she's fucking there for. Because at the end of the fucking movie, we get that moment, and we're like, so you literally.
All that for that, huh?
After all that, you literally are just here to keep the story pushing. That's all
Yeah.
you were there for. And I am so sick of that shit. So much, man. Like, here's the deal. We're not out here just being like, oh, we want an all-woman Dracula movie. That's not what we're fucking saying here. I want women to be cast in a fucking movie and not used as another reason to keep fucking Dracula feeding on people. Like,
I have to go watch Underworld again. You kidding me?
like, for
Dude,
fuck's sake, man. Like,
I think the straw that really broke the camel's back, like for me with this film, was the second spontaneous combustion. Dude,
yeah.
like when that happened, I was just like, what the fuck are we doing here,
I know my
guys?
son.
I
My son, he
was
moved.
just like, we're not. Are we really doing this right now?
Here's the deal.
I was like,
Here's the deal.
oh my hell.
Here's the deal. Because that one confirmed DJ's concerns about the first one. Because
Dude,
now
literally,
suddenly,
now we've actually got people being affected by the fire.
Fire does work, dude.
But the actual ship, there's just there was one burn stain about yay wide on like a single top plank, and you're like, what the hell was all that, dude?
The ship is made of wood. I want to remind everyone at home. The ship is made of wood.
The funny thing too is like I was about to come into this being like there are some moments that are fucking hot in this movie, which there are some moments that I'm like, yeah, that was tight, that was super tight, but
they're so fleeting.
I think doing this review has actually lost points for me because it's making me realize, fuck, wow, that really didn't make sense either, did it? Like, there's even more cuts
so
in our
much.
review. Boys, let's get into it. Garrick, should people see this movie right away? And what is your score on this movie?
Fuck no, man. I'm upset that I saw it. Are you kidding me, dude?
my God.
As far as like modern Dracula takes, dude, this is a fucking fat L, dude. There's so many. Renfield was better. Go watch. There's so many other better vampire movies than this one. So go watch Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter before you go watch this fucking movie. This shit's like a 4 or 5 out of 10, man.
That movie's so not good, man. Okay, 4 out of 10, huh? 4 out of 10. All right. I like it. DJ, should people see this right away? And what is your final score?
Man, no.
Man.
dude, we are missing every single vampire thing ever. Morbius, suck dick. Redfall, ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, vampire genre taking L's right now.
Yeah, dude, we thought this year was gonna be the year of the vampires, baby. We thought they were coming back.
Who would have thought Renfield was going to be better than this? Who would have fucking thought?
Right?
Man, like...
Dude, this is... We've got an L after L, and this adds on to the list. Now, I do want to say, the actors, the cast in this, acted their asses off, dude. They fucking killed it.
Yeah, they fucking
Each line delivered felt impactful and felt meaningful to their character, and it had a lot of intent. But everything else that we just mentioned, it just outweighs everything that they've done. This is a 3.5.
Damn, lower than a 4, bro.
That is my lowest score I've ever given. This is
crazy,
I think I gave
bro.
in 6.
You gave Morbius a 6?
You did give Morbius a 6, dude.
I did give Morbius a 6.
Morbius 6. He's one of those Venom apologists.
I mean, it's for the meme factor. I'd say it's
Dude,
pretty funny.
Garrick's a Venom apologist, bro. Of course he gave Morbius a 6.
100%, dude. I am a Venom apologist.
This fucking guy. Yeah, man, y'all don't need to see this shit. Y'all don't need to do that to yourself. Maybe when it comes to streaming platforms and you're like, all right, I kind of like vampires. Sure, you can do it for free. Don't do it for the fucking bucks, man. It's not worth it. I have worries about Gran Turismo, and I think Gran Turismo is gonna be better than this fucking movie, man. Like, I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude. Yeah, y'all don't need to see this movie right away. This I do feel like I liked it a little bit more than you guys did, so I'm gonna be the one to give it a 5.5 out of 10. I
fine.
like
I would give that score if I didn't think about
it had some moments where I was kind of like, all right, that was kind of cool. You know, like, I mean, like the creature design was like pretty cool. Him flying around was pretty cool. His evolution over that course is pretty cool. The opening for this movie is actually pretty damn good. Like the opening stuff in this movie is actually like pretty damn good. It just
But it's all downhill from here.
it just like from that first 5 minutes onward to the remaining hour and 53 minutes of the goddamn movie, it was just a fuck fest of just damn it and what and God damn it, like over and over and over, and then there's the fucking the kooky Asian guy on the boat who just so happens to be more religious than anybody else on the damn boat.
Sinners, all of you.
we're all fucked, and it's your fault. Like it's just like what the fuck, man? Like Jesus Christ, dude. Yeah, this is gonna be a 5.5 out of me. So it sounds like our official good Kraken rating of this movie is going to be a 4.5 out of 10 because Jesus Christ, that's
Sounds about right.
And it is wild too because like I did go and watch some reviews prior to this movie, and this movie is getting some weirdly good receptions from like content creators and stuff for being a very just safe movie.
Definitely getting paid.
And I like no these are like pretty low time like
actual
content creators.
Vetted.
But like they're all pretty much saying like this movie's fine, and that's like I'll take that. But if anyone said like this movie's good, I'd be like, oh god, dude, like I don't know if I can trust your review of Dune anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like Jesus, man. Yeah. So guys, 4.5 out of 10 from us here at Good Kraken. Don't do it.
Feels bad.
Don't do it. Don't.
May God save you all.
It feels bad. Yeah, God save you. God save your souls, dude. But speaking of some souls, let's talk about our schedule for next week, guys. So on Tuesday, we have another Good Kraken podcast where we're going to be talking the state of AAA games currently, because it is a big conversation happening right now where people are kind of feeling like indie games are kind of making their big upward upheaval over AAA games, and feels good. Feels good.
We're going to talk about why.
And it's going to be a very good conversation. It's going to be 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern time, live right here at twitch.tv/Good Kraken Show. Next Thursday, we usually would be doing the Shipwreck show, but we're actually not going to be doing Shipwreck next Thursday. We have to go see a movie, so please hang out with us on Friday instead. We're going to be doing Splash Damage, our multiplayer gameplay stream of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That game's coming out. And we're fucking so stoked, dude. We're fucking. I'm so excited about that shit. Like I said, if it's even like a schmeckle of what Evil Dead was, I'll be happy. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll be totally fine with that. If it ends up being fucking Dead by Daylight, I quit. I fucking give up on horror games. Like horror games have like been very conflicting lately. But then on Saturday. Well, that Friday's gonna be 7 p.m. Pacific time. Saturday at 12 p.m. Pacific time, same time as today. We're going to be doing another Good Kraken podcast. We're going to be doing our spoiler-free review of Blue Beetle, and I'm way more excited about that movie than I have been at all since it's being announced, because it's actually getting really good critical reception for a DC movie.
I saw you tweet about that.
Dude, surprisingly good.
I feel like this movie is just gonna have like. I feel like it's got good timing. I feel like it's got really, really good release timing.
It can't get worse than The Flash.
And like honestly, it really like. I feel like DC has to like this. This just feels like it's gonna be a shift for DC in a good way. I hope
it can't be worse than Wonder Woman 19.
Bro, like it's like we're getting Beetleborgs, but like official. Like I'm so excited.
Goddamn, feels good, man. That's going to be 12 p.m. Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern time, and you guys can check that out there. In the meantime, guys, please let us know your thoughts on the last voyage of the Demeter. Let us know if you agree with our thing, or if you think that we're being a little nitpicky here. You're wrong, but let us know.
Yeah, let us know what you think.
We want to hear from you on Discord. We want to hear from you on Twitter. Hit us up on Instagram. We will hear from you guys there. In the meantime, this has been the Good Kraken Podcast, your choice for all the nerdy video game and pop media news, reviews, and discussions that you wanted to hear. Live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. and Saturdays at 12 p.m. right here at twitch.tv/Good Show. If you enjoy the show, you can head over to our Discord channel where you can submit questions and topics of the show, get exclusive post-show content, and soon have early access episodes before they go live on podcasts and video services across the digital sea.
Yarg.
Thank you, gentlemen. But you can also support us by going to our YouTube channel by clicking that beautiful bell and big red button, or by subscribing to our podcast channel by searching Good Kraken with an exclamation mark and leaving a review there.
Review.
We have to go, everybody. But until next time, my friends.
I saw him move. My son. I know him. I know my son. He moved.
To quote Dracula.
You will.